Well, a new report is supporting the government's plan to expand marine protection for Australia's World Heritage listed Macquarie Island. Joining us live is the report's lead author, Dr Ian Cresswell. Dr Cresswell, thank you so much for your time. Now, forgive my ignorance, but Macquarie Island is a place I know very little about. I'm sure some of our viewers are in the same boat. So just tell us firstly, where is the island? Do any people live there? How untouched is it?
So Macquarie Island lies halfway between Tasmania and Antarctica. It's the far reaches of the Australian domain, and it's home to millions of seabirds and thousands of marine mammals pass through there. It's actually, the island itself is part of the state of Tasmania, and its waters and the near coastal waters are Tasmanian waters. That's all protected. And in 1999, the Howard government put in place a marine park on one side of the island, and our report shows that in order to lead up to the full protection that's required to keep this jewel in the crown of Australia's marine domain, that we probably need to extend the reserve, and that's what Minister Plibersek has announced in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I do want to ask you more about extending the reserve in a moment, but firstly, we did just show our viewers some very cute pictures of royal penguins. I understand Macquarie Island's the only place in the world, correct me if I'm wrong, where they're found. Just explain for us a bit more about the habitat there and what is it that is so unique about that place.
So it's a very interesting place in that the island itself is just the tip of a mountain range, an undersea mountain range that comes from the seabed right up, like the Himalayas. It's where two plates of the earth collide, and then you get this mountain range that forces upwards, and that creates a whole lot of habitat for different animals and plants. And so the marine life that we see on the island rely on all of the waters surrounding the island in order to survive and breed and prosper.
Okay, now as you mentioned, a few weeks ago the Environment Minister, Tanya Plibersek, she announced the government's proposal to, I think it's almost triple Macquarie Island's marine park. It covers a huge area, as I understand, almost twice the size of Victoria. The public consultation period over that decision is yet to happen, but your report, as you said, is backing in the government's plans here. What are you hoping that move would actually achieve?
So part of the reason for our analysis of the area was whether or not the current reserve actually was able to look after all those animals that use the island and its waters. And we found that since the reserve was first created in 1999, we've got a whole lot of new information that shows that a lot of the seabirds and marine mammals use all of the area. So what we need to do is then figure out how we want to manage that area in the most effective way to make sure that important values of Macquarie Island and its waters are protected into the future. It's a question of when do you look after something? Do you look after it now or when there's a lot of pressures? Our suggestion is to look after it now, and it is, as you say, it's pretty unknown in Australia, but it is one of the jewels in the crown of our protected area estate. It's an amazing place, like nowhere else on Earth. It's where two of the major fronts of waters come together, the closest anywhere in the planet, and it produces this exuberance of life, which hopefully your viewers are seeing now.
We are seeing some wonderful pictures. Not everyone's happy about this idea, though. I see that several fishing companies are pretty alarmed about the move. They're saying that they run a well-managed, sustainable fishing operation. They're pointing out it's already highly regulated. They seem to be really worried about the precedents that this could set. How much commercial fishing actually happens in that region, and what impact does your analysis show that actually has on the habitat?
So the fishery is a sustainable fishery. It has what's called Marine Stewardship Council accreditation, which is a global accreditation of the sustainability of the fishery, and it's been assessed by the Australian government as a sustainable fishery. The proposal that the government's put forward and the report itself that we co-authored don't suggest actually changing the area that the fishery operates in, and indeed it shouldn't in fact impact at all on the fishery activities.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm sure that those fishing companies will have more to say when that consultation period really kicks off. It looks like they're a bit more worried about the precedents that it could set more broadly. But Dr. Ian Cresswell, really appreciate you joining us